damage is already done, man. That you can just like quote something and then later in the night be like, oh, okay, fine, stricken from the record, whatever. What else do we need to know about what happened there?
Well, I mean, to me, it's just striking because this is a impeachment proceeding to take the unprecedented step of trying to impeach a president who is no longer president. We haven't done anything like this in so long, they had to go back and dig up precedent from 1876. So I think that if Democrats' position is that we are trying to cure the nation of virulent untruth, then fidelity to the facts should be important to them. And yet, as he later said, which is not in that clip, it's much ado about nothing. So I think those will be the words that end up haunting the Democrats. Because it becomes very apparent as we've gone through this process that this has been less about a search for the truth. This has been more about them continuing to wage this political battle to try President Trump in the court of public opinion, because most legal experts will tell you if they try to try him in a court of law, it probably would not go very well for them.
That's so interesting. So they say the prosecution, the Democrats say it's much ado about nothing, that one specific quote. But the truth is this whole thing is much ado about nothing. Hopefully that's revealed over the next couple of days for most people. Do you know what the quote was that they said was Mike Lee but wasn't?
Well, I think he was objecting to the categorization of the conversation as a whole. And I think that that's important because much of the quote unquote testimony that Democrats are relying upon are words printed in newspapers that are attributed to actual living, breathing human beings. And so, again, if you are willing to take this unprecedented step, then you would think that you would actually call the witnesses. In a court of law, you would hopefully be able to call those witnesses and confront those witnesses. You cannot actually send somebody to jail or convict them based off attributions made in a newspaper. So again, I think that, yes, on some basic level, it may be true that this is not a significant component of their trial, but I think it does show the mindset of the Democrats that, again, they are more interested in waging the political battle than in undertaking a search for the truth and actually having a reckoning that will bring this nation together or, quote unquote, unify us, as they continue to say.
Yeah, which ties in perfectly to our last segment. So I read something, and it may be unrelated. I'm trying to put these all things together. That the president and the president's team tried to call some other senator and accidentally called Mike Lee. Is that like the backstory of what actually happened and why Mike Lee was misattributed in that story? Have you heard any of that?
I mean, look, there is I'm sure where Democrats are going with this, they're going to cite conversations that occurred between the president and Senator Tuberville, conversations or attempted conversations between Rudy Giuliani and members of the Senate. I think overall, again, the problem that we have here is that this entire impeachment affair, Democrats are trying to make the allegation that January 6th is 9/11 and that Donald Trump is himself Osama bin Laden. And I think that when you look at it from that perspective, it makes it very difficult for the average American to make that leap of faith. I think there are people across the aisle who may believe that President Trump did not handle the immediate aftermath of what occurred on January 6th well. But what Democrats are trying to say extends far beyond that. That President Trump is directly responsible for what happened on January 6th. In many ways, they're trying to portray him as somebody who got on Twitter and Parler and planned out these attacks in concert with the people who took the unprecedented step and disgraceful step to basically turn the Capitol into a mob scene. So that is, I think, something that strains credulity for many Americans and ultimately, I think, will be the fatal flaw of an otherwise misguided impeachment effort.
Wow. That was deep and insightful. I want more of that. Like, subscribe, get more.